Hello everyone, welcome back. So we're starting our fifth session of the day, which is fostering rewards. And we are joined by Lizzie, one of our amazing foster carers. So Lizzie, please unmute yourself.
Okay.
Oh, hello Lizzie. Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So we would love to know about how you started, how you became a foster carer, like what was your process and what you think are the biggest rewards of being a foster carer.
Right. Well, let's go to a few of those myths we've been busting. I've always wanted to foster ever since I was 17 years old, training at college to be a nursery nurse and work with children. And we had someone give a talk on fostering and adoption. I didn't know it existed until then. It wasn't as obvious as it is today. And I thought, oh, I'd love to do that, but I knew I was too young. By the time I thought I was old enough, I thought that there were lots of things that would exclude me. One of those being my size, because I was overweight. That myth got busted before becoming a foster carer, because I thought the same myth about scuba diving. And that again wasn't right. And I went on to become a scuba diving instructor. So then I thought, right, anything's possible. Let's find out about this fostering. And a friend of mine who is a social worker with social, I know a fantastic agency called Banya. Let me give my friend who works for them a ring and we'll get you going. I said, okay. And I thought, oh gosh, I need to have a chat with you first because I don't think they'll want me. I'm single. I am diabetic. I have no birth children. I had a lot of experience with children. I spent my life working with them, but I had no children of my own. I had a spare bedroom, but I lived in a flat. I had got no garden and nowhere to store a bike or things like that. And I'm also dyslexic. And a lot of people hear that and think, oh, stupid. Not at all. I'm not academic. I don't like the paperwork side of things, as my social worker will tell you. But I was assured immediately, don't worry about that, we'll help you. I'm fine with paperwork in general, but it's the understanding of what they're asking you. Sometimes questions are phrased in a way that I just don't enjoy. Trying to understand. Now, I was very fortunate when it reached the stage of Form F, and I got a lot of forms to fill in. Ephraim, amazing social worker. He was the person I'd first been put in touch with by my friend on the phone, and he walked me through the process. He came to my house and helped me fill in forms. And reassured me every step of the way. It was absolutely amazing. I had a fantastic time going through the process. And one of the reasons I'm telling people who are watching this bit is transparency is brilliant. Do not worry about these things. I don't care if people know I'm dyslexic or diabetic or overweight. I'm not being a foster carer for other people. I'm being a foster carer for children because they are my passion. Now, I've been with Banya for 6 years and I am fostering long term. That was my choice. And I have an amazing daughter who's been with me 5 years at the beginning of December. It wasn't always easy. There have been very, very difficult times. As I'm sure you've all learned throughout the day, all of these children coming into care have been through trauma. You know, through no fault of their own, they've been traumatized. And they are going to have things they need to deal with. Oh my gosh, this is where your rewards begin. I'm not here to talk about finances, about payment and salary and all of that. To me, that's not a reward. It's got nothing to do with it. When Now, I will pre-warn you all, I will get emotional, and I'm not going to apologise for it. Not at all, because I love what I do. I love my daughter, and I love sharing with other people how it's enriched my life. And in that process, I get a bit emotional. My daughter, and I call her my daughter, and I'll explain that to you because people will be going, oh, shouldn't be doing that. She doesn't see her family at all, and she won't see her family. She has chosen to call me mom and to tell everyone she is my daughter. It is her choice. It is not something I ever asked for or pushed on her. I never mentioned it until she did. And then when she did, I said, sweetie, I love you. It doesn't matter what you call me. Yes, it would be wonderful if you chose to call me mum. But it's also equally as wonderful if you want to call me Auntie Lizzie or just Lizzie. It doesn't matter to me. It's just a name. But to her, it's more than that. It's being able to come out of school and go, that's my mom. You know, it's really special. So I will be calling her my daughter so that I don't accidentally say her name live. You know, it's not okay. So she came to me in the December. She had been through, I was home number 7 and she was on social worker number 7 in a year and a half. Now, any of you that listened to Tom earlier today and when they were talking, was able to mention how it felt moving from place to place before you finally found your forever home and how traumatic it can be. So when she came to me, she was very nervous, very unsettled. She had stress eczema because she was being moved. And I suppose the first rewards for me were when all of a sudden she has clear skin. The stress eczema had gone. She felt safe. She felt comfortable. She knew that there was someone there that was going to support her and that she could relax a little bit. So for me, the first reward was to know that she felt safe in my home, which was now her home with me. And that was pretty special. So over the next few weeks, we got to know each other very well because we didn't feel it would be okay for her to go into school before January, because there were a couple of weeks before Christmas holidays and it would have been very strange. Everyone's getting ready for Christmas, chatting. So we decided. So she came with me to visit friends. Now, she arrived on the 7th. You have to excuse me. I have made a note or two so I get my dates right. She came to me on the 7th of December. And 16 days later, on the 23rd of December, we had been to visit a family I used to work for as a nanny and their 4 children. Because I thought it'd be really great for her to see my relationship with those children. They were all chatty and huggy and it was nice. They really included her and she felt lovely. So we're driving home from there. And she sat in the back of the car and it's dark, it's December. And I thank the Lord it was dark because I'm going to introduce you to her best friend that she arrived to me with. This is baby Annabelle. She was her comfort blanket. She made her feel safe. She hugged her so tightly at night. Sometimes there was a little red mark on her face from where she'd been pushed. So we're driving back and she said, Lizzie? I said, yes, sweetie. She said, baby Annabelle has something she wants to say to you. And I said, okay, baby Annabelle, what would you like to say? And she said, well, baby Annabelle wants to say that she's really happy that she's come to live with you and that she already loves you. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. Oh my goodness. Baby Annabelle, I am so happy that you and my daughter have come to live with me. And I'm so happy that you love me because I already love you too. And I hope you want to stay with me forever. And then she said, and Lizzie? I said, yes. She said, I want to tell you something. I said, yes. She said, I love you too. And you know, that first I love you from a child that has been so hurt and has felt so rejected by so many people. Wow, that is the biggest reward you are ever going to get. It's absolutely beyond words the way it makes you feel. Whether you have children or have never had children, it's irrelevant. That coming from a child that has been so traumatized and doesn't feel safe and is scared of developing a relationship and a bond with somebody, and they say that to you, wow, you know, and it just gets better from there. There are tough times. There are always tough times, but no matter what happens, they know that you love them. And when you show that constantly, the way they grow and develop, and I'm not just talking about at home, I'm talking about in life, social skills, starting to socialize with people. And that's partly a belief in who they are. Having no sense of self-worth or understanding who they are anymore. And they suddenly start to build friendships and talk about friends. Again, another big tick. That's another reward because you've been able to support them for them to be able to do that. When they're able to actually go to school and stay there all day. To school, not every child has been able to go to school or felt safe going to school. To give them that sense of, it's okay, Mom's got my back, Lizzie's got my back, she's there for me. It's such a feeling to see these, what people consider tiny weeny little milestones, and they're not, they're huge, absolutely huge. Sleeping through the night, no longer having nightmares and night terrors. It's such a reward. Anyone that has children, you've seen those tiny little things. They can tie their lace, they can speak their first word, take their first step. It's the same with foster children, no matter what age they are, whether they come to you at birth or they come to you at 14. It makes no difference. Those rewards are exactly the same. On a personal level, from a different perspective, being a foster carer opens you up to so much. Those of you who've heard me speak before have heard me say this again and again. At Banya, we're a family. Nyasha, her attitude towards fostering and looked after children is amazing. It's second to none. And the fact that she wants to make sure that we come together as a family. We do. We have training, which enhances our skills, it develops us as people, but the people we're training with are other foster carers. We have support groups, we talk to each other, we build friendships, and we become an extension of that family. So you're getting a lot of love and support from people that you might never otherwise have met. You know, that is yet another reward. You also get an insight into how much your family and friends think of you when they see what you're doing, and they actually step up and support you. You know, you might never have been in a situation where you got to see that. Through lockdown, I was doing great, looking after everybody else. We came out of lockdown and I had developed a frozen shoulder and needed an operation. And when I told everybody, I've got to isolate for 2 weeks, I can't go anywhere or do anything, and then go and have an operation, and I can't take my daughter with me. My entire family stepped up. I'll do your shopping, I'll have Sky, I'll do this, I'll do the other. And then all of my friends, my next door neighbours, my neighbour over the road, friends were messaging me, you need anything, call me. You need milk, call me. You need someone to talk to because you're going stir crazy, call me. Wow, I'm a very organised person. I'm normally the one looking after everyone else. So to be in a position where I had to be looked after and to have an insight into just how much people cared, that's a reward you don't find every day. You don't see and you don't hear about. People don't show it. So yeah, there are so many different ways that you're rewarded. My daughter likes to save up her pocket money, and she knows I like little figurines, particular ones. I like willow trees. And she bought me this on Mother's Day a couple of years ago. She bought me a mother and daughter one with her own pocket money. She asked a friend to help her go, and a friend of ours to go and find it. She said, I'm going out with Auntie Claire, not telling you why. And, she's done these beautifully thoughtful things. She'll find things like, that's a gift she gave me on Mother's Day. It's the thoughtfulness. And not just bought things, but cards that she's made, things that she has given to me, notes. It's amazing. Sometimes you think you know your child, and I thought after over 4 years, I knew her very well. And I thought she said everything she felt the minute she felt it. And that's the case in general, but she had a moment where she felt I needed to know a little bit more. It was a regular day. There was nothing special going on. She disappeared into the dining room, which, when we're not having roast dinners, is her room, her playroom, her homework room, you name it, it's hers. So she had, I didn't know what she was doing. She'd just gone off. I knew where she was. I knew she was safe. So I gave her space. And then she very proudly comes into the lounge and places a piece of paper, this piece of paper, in front of me and says, read that. And off she goes out of the room again. And I'm going to read this to you because she could not do anything or buy me anything that would ever be as rewarding as what she wrote on here. She said, to Mum, you mean the whole world to me. There is no other mum like you. I just want to say that last birthday and Christmas, the cards were immense. What you put in them touched my heart. It's sad that, and she named her parents, not Mum and Dad, she used their names, that they don't send me anything, but that is their choice and I feel sorry for them. I'm really lucky to have a forever mom who cares and is really loving. I will always keep those cards forever. You are the best mom anyone could ask for. I will love you always and forever. You love you always, and then she put in capital letters, forever. Oh my goodness. I burst into tears and she's like, what's the matter? Are you upset with me? And I just said, wow, that's the most beautiful thing anyone has ever said to me and ever given to me. And she went, it's just a few words on a bit of paper. I said, no, it's not. It's so much more than that. So much more. When you choose to become a foster carer, the first time you open that front door and you say, hello, big smile, welcome, come on in, come and have a look around. Would you like to see your room? And from that moment on, you never turn back. Because though people say what we do is special, we're giving back, we're caring about children, I feel I get more from my daughter and the other children I've cared for than I could ever give them. They keep me young. They keep me remembering how lucky I am to have what I have and to have them. They appreciate everything because they never had anything. And I remember my daughter during lockdown saying to me, Mom, you've got to stop worrying now. Because I know, and now I really do understand that I'm here forever. I know that you're never going to get rid of me. I know that that bedroom is my bedroom, and it'll always be my bedroom. Even when I leave home, I can come back and stay in there. And she knows how wanted she is. She knows how loved she is. She is so secure in who she is as a person now. She's sassy, you know, and that little girl didn't exist when she arrived. She was scared. She was trying to please everybody. She was self-harming. That is the most difficult thing to ever see. A child that hurts themselves because they think they deserve to be punished, because they think everything that happens is their fault. That little girl doesn't exist anymore. I have a strong, confident, happy girl who knows who she is and what she wants. And she fully intends to go to university. She doesn't know what she wants to be yet. 2 or 3 things she's got in mind, but she'll get there, and she'll get there with my love and support. And if she shoots for the moon and only reaches the stars or the clouds, I will be immensely proud of her. And another tick, another reward to see her move forward and make an amazing life for herself. Every single child deserves that opportunity. If you can be an amazing foster carer that can give that and counts those rewards as the important ones, not money, but what you get is your life from having that child in your life, then you're already a foster carer. All you need to do is cross the T's and dot the I's. It really is that simple. So I don't know what else I can say at the moment. I'm sure I'll have a few things that might pop into my head as we're chatting, but I don't know if anyone's got anything they'd like to ask, or, you know, any questions.
I got a question. Well, first of all, thank you so much for that story, Lizzie. And you have gotten so many lovely messages of people saying, thank you for sharing. This is so special. Thank you for sharing such a personal feeling. It really is a lovely, lovely story. So thank you so much for sharing it with us.
Thank you.
I got a message sent to me privately saying, can you ask Lizzie how she responded to those people who did not think it appropriate for her foster child to call her mom?
I told them all exactly what I just told everyone at the beginning, that it was her choice. And I made sure that people understood that in no way was I trying to disrespect her mother. And I always said to her, I am your forever mummy, because you have a home with me forever. And this is because she's long-term. She's not short-term. She's not respite. She was long-term. And I always made sure that people knew I'm forever mummy, and she has a tummy mummy. We must always recognise their birth parents, because at the end of the day, no matter what they've done, they are their parents. They did make them. And my daughter understands that her tummy mummy isn't able to give her what she needs, and that I'm able to be there in that capacity and help. But I always said to her as well that I would always thank her mom. And she said, what for? And I said, for making you. Because if she hadn't made you, you wouldn't be in my life. And you make me complete. You are my family. And, you know, so yeah, mother is a word. It's a word that describes a person that cares for you, you know, in a particular way. I had my own mom. She wasn't very good at being a mom. So I still to this day call my best friend's mom my adopted mommy, because she was my other mother. She gave me the side that my mom wasn't able to do. You know, I had a great home life. I had a loving father, a lovely brother. My mum just wasn't affectionate. and she wasn't caring, and she didn't give you that support and, oh, well done, and big you up. And sometimes I needed that. And so Pat was that other mum for me, which was, you know, so special. So I think for a child to feel safe enough and secure enough to be able to want to call you mum, that's huge. So we need to look at it from the right perspective. And I never get angry with people if they don't agree with me, or if they think what I'm doing is wrong. I simply explain what and why, and they have the right to their opinion. You know, if you can't have that attitude with adults, how on earth are you going to care for a child that is going through so much that they're rejecting you constantly and telling you, oh, I hate you, I don't want to live here? You need to be able to rise above other people's thoughts, be calm, think clearly, and give a really sensitive and sensible answer. I hope that helps.
Yes, I think it does. We have gotten just in the last few minutes even more messages saying this has encouraged me. Thank you. Oh my gosh. I think once this session is over, you will have a lot of messages to go through because they're really, really lovely. So I do have another question for you.
Yeah.
Oh, and we have another one. Sorry, I will ask this one first. Which attributes have helped you foster your child?
Oh gosh. I think the fact I am a giver. I'm a very loving, caring person. I always have been. I've always wanted to take care of others, and not for gratification. I find it very embarrassing when people say anything positive to me, or thank me, or give me gifts, because for me, it's natural. It's who I am. And I believe if you have to hold somebody in your heart, then everything else comes from there. And there are things that I've developed and learnt over the time of being a foster mom. You can't, this is what I want everyone to understand. You are not a complete package. I am not a complete package. I have spent 30 years working with children, from disabled children to children with mental health problems, to working as a nanny for royal families. I've worked across the board. I am still learning every single day. I will go into training with Banya, and we'll have new people in, and they sit there and don't say anything. And I gently nudge them and say, look, I'm desperate to hear from you because I want to know what I'm going to learn from you today. And they're like, but we're new, we don't know anything. I said, no, you are a wealth of knowledge and experience that I don't have. That we all learn something from each other. And being able to go and get that training and then the support from each other, we're constantly feeding on each other as a family and learning from each other. And it's fantastic. And it makes you feel amazing when you can take what somebody else has told you and apply it with your child. You can help them because somebody else helped you. And I think being open to hearing everything and making an informed decision, and being transparent. You know, when you're fully 100% honest about everything, there's nothing hidden, and people can see that. This is why I won't come on and do these and do a script. I might have a few little notes written down, but I won't do a script. I want people to know that it's me being honest from the heart. And that's another major attribute. Be honest with your children. You do not have to answer the question that they're asking, but you must always be honest. I hate lies and I hate liars. It's my pet hate in the world anyway. But my daughter actually will turn around to people and say, you're wrong. My mum doesn't lie. She never lies. She doesn't tell lies. If I'm not old enough to hear it, she'll tell me to ask that question when I'm 10 or 12 or 14. And I know she'll answer it when I'm ready. So, you know, when your child knows that you never lie, they know they can trust what comes out of your mouth. So, yeah, we're all a work in progress. There are none of us that are ever going to be the best foster carer, because every child is different, every adult is different, every situation is different, every experience a child has been through and trauma is different. What we do at Banya is we come together as a family and we work together for the best life for that child. And I'll tell you guys how nuts I am. I'm single. I have got so hooked on this that I sold my little house and bought a bigger house, and I'm waiting to foster at least 2 more children. Already approved. We're going there. You know, if I could, I'd have a 10-bedroomed house with loads of children because it's what I love. So yeah, come join us and get hooked.
That's lovely, Lizzie. So we have 2 more questions.
Yep.
The first one is, how have you built your resilience?
How have
you built your resilience?
I think there's 2 things we need to do. We need to know ourselves. We need to know our strengths, but we also need to recognize our weaknesses, and we need to own them. I'm not good at everything, and I'm the first to go, I need help. And that's where people like our social workers come in to back us up and support us, which again is another reward, because you hear horror stories about social workers. They don't exist at Banya, I'm afraid. Sorry. We only have amazing social workers that support us, that back us up, that help us get what we need, be it training, be it extra support for our child or children, or extra support for our family. If you have a husband and children and they're struggling with the situation, we, you know, as a family, we support each other. And then we have if you feel you are missing something and you need extra training in it, we speak up. The amount of times that we've said, oh, don't feel we know enough about this, and all of a sudden we've got an extra training session. There we go. Now we're learning more skills, more knowledge, more resilience.
Wonderful. And we have one last question, which is, what would you say to someone who is right now looking at this video? They're considering becoming a foster carer, and you have had over 6 years experience with it. What is your advice? What would you say to someone who's on the verge, just making the decision?
Right. First, thank you. Thank you for wanting to love those children that don't have anybody out there loving them yet, because they are waiting for you. And they need people like us who really care. Secondly, get going. Don't stop and think about it anymore. Move forward. Take that leap. Learn. Fill the forms in. Speak to people. The one thing you'll find with Banya, they will give you as much love and support as they can, but they'll never force you into anything. At any point in time, you can say, actually, do you know what? I've got more information now and I can't do this. It's not for me. Or I'm not in the right place right now. I've realized that I can't, but I might in the future. And Banya will go, okay, we understand that. We respect that. We're still here for you. If you ever change your mind, we'd love to hear from you again. You know, and if you are thinking, wow, I like it so far, keep going. You can go to panel. You can be approved and then decide not to foster. Banya aren't going to ever force you. So take that step. Find out the information. See if you can get all the way. It's scary. I spent my life raising children. And I remember the first phone call asking me to do respite. I nearly wet myself. I'm like, oh my God, what excuse can I come up with? Oh, I don't know how I can do it. I don't know the child. I don't know the situation. Am I going to be okay? Am I going to do well enough? I know I've got 30 years on me with children. You know, don't worry. Go for it. If you're here, you're already wanting to do it. Go for it. You know, you never know what's going to happen. And I guarantee you, once you've had that first child, even just for a weekend, you will be hooked and you'll be like, find me another respite, find me my next placement for whatever length of time works for you, mother and baby, parent and baby, or respite or emergency, whatever it is. Just go for it. You know, you're going to get nothing but love and support here, you know. And for anybody and everybody that's watching, I can't wait for you to become part of the Banya family and to meet you. Now, my last reward is the fact that I am very passionate and I want every child to have an amazing family because every child deserves it. And Banya have given me the opportunity to do the webinar, to recruit, to come on here. And also, if you do go forward, I'm part of the team doing the Skills to Foster. I am so privileged and so rewarded by Banya that they think so much of me and my honesty and my love of children that I get to do this, you know. So thank you, guys.